be responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. That takes a second to think about, right? But it's very true. We're all leaders. We are not responsible for the job if we're a leader. We're responsible for the people who are responsible for the job. Tony just ran away, and I have the microphone.
I got one. Okay. See if I can remember it. Age is catching up with me. Socialism. Everybody heard of socialism? Socialism is communism for dummies. So Ken.
This is kind of going with Patrick. I put this on LinkedIn, a couple things yesterday. 3 truths about leadership. Leadership isn't about gaining power, it's about empowering others. Number 2, great leaders succeed because they bring out the greatest in others. And number 3, you don't have to be great to serve, but you have to serve to be a great leader.
That one was pretty awesome. So mine's somewhat like that, but not quite. Mine says we are all woven together in the great web of humanity. And whatever we can do to benefit and uplift others will reflect in blessing upon ourselves. That was Miss Ellen White. So we do have a guest. So I'm going to turn this over to the guest speaker.
Hi, how are you? Steve. I'm going to ask you to tell us your name, what you do, and who invited you.
Okay. My name is Linda Costello. I am a past member here. I was a member here for 10 years, maybe starting 20 years ago. And I have Magnolia Bakery. We've been in existence since 1941, and I've been there 45 years.
So I was going to say, today's National Day of Junk Food. How appropriate is that? What's your favorite?
Cannolis, of course.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Christine. Thank you, Miss Linda, for joining. Hope you remember how great this club is, and we'll see how great it still is. OBL announcements, we'll go right into those. So, oh my goodness.
So for the month of July, next week is wide open. We don't have anyone. And then August 11th will be the 2 candidates, well, Mayor Glenn and the other person who's going to be running for mayor as well. They're going to come in and speak with us on the 11th. As of right now, the rest of August is open, and so is September. Yes, sir.
August 11th, that's helping them.
Thank you.
August 3rd, August 8th, 4th, maybe it's with us.
I don't have that written down.
I go with this.
Can we switch that to the 11th, or we need to keep it? I mean, to the 3rd. Can we keep it on? Do we need to keep it on the 11th?
I'll have to check with Mayor and see if he can. He had already committed last night to us on that. So, let me.
Is Hank coming? Who's coming? Hank?
Gary, most likely. Executive Director. I'll call him, or you can call him.
I can call Hank and ask him if he doesn't mind moving to the week before. Or you can, I'll call. I know him. Okay.
I'm glad I mentioned it. Yeah.
I have it written down. I don't know why. I dropped. I guess I have to say I dropped the ball, but that could have been when I was moving.
Okay, we'll go with that.
You gonna do what?
It's okay. That would be a good idea.
We are discussing about how to do that. This term, Robert asked if we were going to have a political candidate forum for the city council positions that are open. There's 4 districts that's gonna be open this year. Just one of those districts has 6 candidates. And I think the other 3 each have 2, and I think the other 2 has 2, and I think one has 3. So to try to get all of those folks in, and with the time that we have allotted, we need to look at if we can split them and maybe do 2 districts one week and 2 districts the following week. That election is September the 21st, I believe it is.
Right.
So we all have to get those solidified fairly quickly. What I will have to ask of the group is, as with the mayor's form and stuff too, is we're going to have to publicly forego our 30-second introductory so that we give these folks enough time to get through. And I think this is important. The mayor's race this year is going to be a very important race. So we need to hear from these folks. So those of you that do live inside the city limits can have the most information right from the candidate's voice there, so you can make an informed decision. And I think the same thing is true for the other positions too. So we are going to work on that and see what we can do. So maybe we can, unless somebody is just bursting at the seams to do, attend an infomercial in the next couple of weeks.
So here's a thought for the day.
Yes, sir.
I happened to look this up. Why is it that the city pays the city manager so much money?
I would pay the city manager like $220,000 a year.
You're kidding.
And then there are 3, wait, and then there are 3 assistants, and the 3 of them combined make $500,000 a year. But yet, the mayor makes $500 a month, and the city council members get $250 a month, I believe, is what the pay is. There's something to think about.
Yeah.
So your county commissioners, that's a $70,000 plus a year job. That's an elected position.
Right. As is city council.
And as the city council, so there's disparities there.
If I'm not mistaken, the county commissioners their pay is based on population and is dictated by Tallahassee. And that's why they have all these people moving in, because their pay goes up. My thoughts.
There you go. Well, maybe today can be a political forum. We don't have enough time, do we? Ma'am? Are we live? So, yes, sir, Tom.
I'd like to invite Dennis Baxter to come in one morning, and give us a report on what's going on in the state. I mean, not about running for election, but informing us on what's going on.
That's Jennifer's cousin. She just said.
He's my family. My mom's Baxter.
Nice.
Actually, my mom's cousin.
Yeah, and we've had him in before in the club. We did that a couple
I
years
talked to
ago.
him often.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we will work on that and more to come. How about that? We'll see when we get that solidified. So also don't forget 50-50s. For the Jerry's one around, who needs a 50-50? There we go, there's one. Dave Hunter needs one in the back too. Any other OBL announcements? Yes, we do have our mixers tomorrow night, and that is at 217 Southeast 1st Avenue. That is the Workplace Collective site there next to the gym. Tell me again. Iron Legion, that's right. I almost said the wrong one. So Iron Legion. So you can get your networking on and go get your pump muscles. Yeah, you can get pumped.
Fiery Chef is providing food.
Fiery Chef is providing food. Yes, thank you. There are some flyers on the back table there. If anyone would like to take one and make sure that they can invite others to come.
We got a lot of food, a lot of booze. So take that home.
Awesome. And that is tomorrow night from 5 to 7. Back there, so. Okay, without any further ado then, we're going to move into our 10-minute infomercial. This morning we have Ms. Jennifer with Unity Fiber. Give her a warm welcome, please.
Thank you. I love that we worked on getting everyone all riled up and politicized, and I'm like, and now the boring stuff. So today we're going to talk about, of course, I'm Jennifer Phelps with Unity Fiber, and I figure, we've got an individual here today, so we can really do a deep dive into why someone would want to transition into an SD-WAN solution, like forklifting their existing MPLS or and an idea of what we're looking for in the way of prospects. So you guys can keep an eye out and hopefully do as we do and do referrals. So, all right, we're going to start. Turning it on. That's how. There we go. So, took a cue from you all and wanted to start with who I am and my family. So, I actually live up in Hawthorne. I've been in the North Central Florida community for probably about, I'd say 20, 22 years. First in Gainesville, then moved out to Hawthorne, but I used to work with Cox Business, and my markets were Gainesville and Ocala, so I spent most of my time throughout here, and I had been a previous member of OBL for several years when I was with Cox. So this is my family. My big accomplishment this year, I think I'm more proud than he is my son graduated from high school. So he is now completely done, and he did a magnet program at Professional Academy Academy at Lofton. So he did robotics and engineering, which is pretty slick. Bless you. What you don't see in the picture is that I'm wearing 4-inch heels, and he is still towers over me. So he's a very tall boy. This is my husband, Tom. And I think it was taken on one of our trips to Hawaii. So yeah, he's a good guy. He does very non-technical stuff. He's actually in theater. So if you can pick the entire opposite end of the spectrum of what I do, that's my husband. These are our real kids. So our chubby little mittens, our business cat Krampus, little doe-eyed Kahlua, and then just the little broken the couch up on the street. So. All right, so what Unity Fiber is. Unity Fiber is very unique in what we do. We're actually considered a REIT, and for those in real estate, they may know exactly what that is. We're a real estate investment trust. So we're not like a typical ISP. We're a real estate investment trust because that allows us to basically own assets, not only our network assets, but also the network assets of other ISPs. So a lot of people don't realize, for instance, like we actually own all of Windstream's network. So all of their fiber in the ground, all of their actual hardware, we own their actual network, and then we triple net lease it back to them. So it's kind of a unique situation. So we do that for several ISPs. We do it for municipalities as well. So Unity started as doing a lot of that type of structure, and then we also were a big tower company for a long time for the wireless companies. So whenever you're obviously out and about, the way that your phone works is that it has to ping off of a tower. Well, that tower has to get to the backbone of the internet. And so what the providers do, the T-Mobiles and the Verizons and the AT&Ts, is we used to own the towers themselves, but now not so much. We sold that piece off, and we still concentrate on providing the connectivity, what they call the backhaul, from the wireless towers back to the network. And I don't want to get into that, but what that has done for us is it's given us a huge network all around the state. Because we've got literally hundreds and thousands of various towers that we provide the backhaul to. We also do a lot of government contracts. So what that's done for us is build this entire huge network that we have, and when you open up the ground to put fiber in, you don't just put a couple strands in for your customer, since it's open, you put 196 strands in. And now that we have this huge network, they basically about 3 years or so ago, they hired, at least in Central Florida, they started allowing us to sell to enterprise customers off of that network. So it already exists because of all the towers and all the municipalities. We've got several school boards. We won the Putnam School Board bid. We also won the Pinellas County School Board bid. So every one of their schools is connected with Unity Fiber. And what that has allowed us to do is basically now go along those routes and sell to individual businesses. So this basically just talks about what we do. And this is a very tiny eye chart timeline of how we came to be. We started as a communication sales and leasing back in 2015, so we've been around a minute. But community sales and leasing is not a sexy name. So we eventually acquired several other companies, And about in 2017, we became Unity. And let's see here. And this year, just some impressive numbers about how many miles of fiber that we've got in the ground to kind of legitimize us and let you know that we're actually a really good company. And so here's some of our bigger clients. We have been in Jacksonville probably the longest out of the North Florida region. So these are some of the various logos that we're very proud of that we've earned, that you may be familiar with. So Orland Groover, Jacksonville Aviation Authority, that's of course the airport, Farah & Farah, CSX, Hanania, which is an automotive group, Tom Bush, another automotive group, Jacksonville University, Flagler Hospital. So these are just some various names that we've already achieved in Jacksonville. We've just now started selling into Gainesville and Ocala, so we hope to add several more to that. This is basically an idea of where our network is nationally. We are completely focused on the Southeast, at least my division is, though we do have some up in the New England area as well. And more specifically, what most people are more interested in is where are we in Ocala? So this, again, doesn't be a little bit hard to tell you, but let's see if I got my pointer. All right. So we are, where are we? Like we're at 40? Like we're like here? Something. So we run down the major arteries right now, because again, we just within the last couple of months lit this Ocala network. So for now, we're just on the main arteries. And we're eventually going to be kind of spread into the areas and fill in the nooks and crannies as we get customers and as we build out our network. So when you see little jaunts off the network like this, there is likely a tower there. So that's probably why we have it. So if you go around seeing the wireless towers around town, if there's one, we're probably serving it. So, but we basically provide any kind of any speeds of connectivity for both internet as well as connectivity between locations and any host of more robust managed services anywhere on this network. And in addition to that, obviously we want to focus on what's close to our core, that's that orange. But we can really do, if you have a company that has multiple locations, like I'm working on a bank right now that has about 20 different locations all around Florida, and we're not in every single market, but we can still get there. So we don't want to go chasing a one-off into someone else's market, but we will do it if it's part of a larger deal. So we're not just restricted to where the orange is. So this is just an idea of where we are throughout Florida right now. Of course, Ocala is here. That's of course Gainesville. One of the most exciting things that most people here, most people that I've spoken to love to hear about is we got an Air Force contract that had us build a circuit from Tallahassee all the way down to Tampa. And that basically we run all of 19. And that is a wildly underserved area for internet. So most people are really excited when they hear that, because we actually are picking up several customers. You'd be surprised what makes a fiber customer. It's really anyone that doesn't want to go down. It doesn't have to be this big mega corporation that's a household name. Really anyone that has maybe 10, 15 more employees, anyone that's doing any kind of like mission critical type applications, whether that's financial or medical, even churches. Like when everything COVID hit and everything went to virtual, so many churches flipped to fiber because now it really mattered. All of their livelihood, all of their tithings were tethered to whether or not they could be online broadcasting their sermons. So it's not just who you would normally think. Again, the example that I always use for folks is, if you want to determine whether it makes sense for you to go to fiber, kind of think about what happens if your fiber goes. Think about what happens if your internet goes down. So if it's just inconvenient, if you're like, oh shoot, this sucks, can you call my provider and you'll just work on something else for a couple hours or maybe a day or so until they get out there, then you know what? You are on the exact right solution. You are perfectly fine with DSL, you're perfectly fine with cable. You don't need to worry about fiber. But if your internet goes down and it's a 5-alarm dumpster fire that you've got employees staring at you, you're losing contracts, you're losing revenue, you're losing face in the community because now it looks like you're unprofessional. These are the type of things that it makes sense to spend. It's not that much. It's like a couple $100 more a month for your connectivity to bump up to fiber. So to avoid, if you lose thousands of dollars in a day, that might be worthwhile, to look at maybe going to a connection that's not going to go down and give you those fits. So we do everything from, like I said, internet connectivity, that's just straight getting you out to broadband connection out to the internet. We do Ethernet, which is, without getting technical, that's about connecting locations. When you have multiple locations, you can actually connect them all and share resources and so on. We do dark fiber, we do wavelengths. which is again more technical stuff, but if you need it, you know. And we also do, of course, dial tone and hosted VoIP, hosted PBX. And what that basically means is that if your handsets on your desk are really old and they're kind of cruddy, we can actually replace those for you, do dial tone for you as one bundled solution. And it's all done on a CapEx model instead of actually required. Excuse me, all done on an OpEx model rather than making you come down with any kind of CapEx. So it's all, typically not much more expensive than a normal phone bill. So that's just kind of an idea of what we do, and these are just some really big names for the technical folks to kind of let you know what we deliver in the way of our solutions. Of course, fellow Copper, SD-WAN, and we're Cisco House and Meraki and all that. So and these are of course more technical names that don't mean anything. So for me and for you all, if you are not yourself a fiber prospect, if you're like perfectly content with what you have right now, and we can't do much for you in the way of better connectivity or cost savings or anything like that, you can still be a benefit to us, and we can be a benefit to you in a referral basis. We have a referral program, so if anyone has any, business associates or friends that definitely have some kind of business, or you have an in into the hospitals, the dealerships, the hotels, those type of businesses, if they sign on with us, and you don't have to do anything more than make an introduction and everything, and we will actually do the rest. We want to win the business on our own merits. If we do, we will pay you typically 2 to 3 times what we call the MRC, so their monthly recurring revenue. So depending on how large a solution it is, we'll pay up to $1,500 per referral. So a nice way to do something, and everybody wins. So something to keep in mind. Like I said, if this isn't for you, maybe you know somebody who it is for, and we can still kind of help each other out. So that's really all I have. So any questions? Yes, sir.
One easy question for you. When you're running your fiber optics and you're going through neighborhoods, you're going through business and everything, from your connection to the business, do you run fiber optic or do you do copper?
Well, it's fiber, and then we follow fiber to the switch. So we're not doing, copper. It's our own network. We're not reselling
right to the
switch.
Right?
So
in the business.
Copper into the business, and then we come into the switch. And now from the switch, depending on what level of circuit you have, we will give you either a fiber or a copper handoff, and that's really just dependent on what your equipment can handle. So, and it's really about what speed and what tier. Like, so normal, up to like a gig or so, most people are just getting a copper handoff at the switch because that's what their equipment takes, whether their router or their firewall takes. But as you get like data center environments and things like that, they may want like a fiber handoff, and we can do either. So, but it is fiber to the premise all the way.
Where do you get your signal from?
We own backbone, so it is our own signal, and then of course all the major providers, we do peering with each other.
From your own satellite,
Well, it's all hardline. It's not a satellite connection, so it's all hardline connectivity. Our what we call NOC, Network Operating Center, is in Mobile, so it's all domestic, and it's staffed 24/7. But we own our own fiber net connectivity. And then what happens is that what you don't see, what's not on that, what I don't light up on the maps, is our backbone, because we don't sell off our backbone. Like that's just for our connectivity and basically interconnecting with other ISPs.
So we can't access the internet through that.
Oh, absolutely you can.
Well, where do you get your signal from?
Well, okay, so what happens is that all the internet providers, they all connect at what's called POPs, point of presence. So there's many, there's Tampa, there's Atlanta, there's Jacksonville, it just depends on what they call them, also NAPs, network access points. And it's basically, all the big ISPs have what they call peering agreements, where they all agree to pass traffic to each other, because you may have a website hosted by Verio, right? And well, Verio made they have their own backbone connectivity and their own network built out. Well, if the networks never talk to each other, if you typed in a domain name that was hosted by that company, you'd never be able to reach it. So if you were trying to go from like COTS to reach a server on a Verio network, unless the ISPs spoke to each other and connected at these peering points, we agree to carry each other's traffic. So, I'm not trying to get too deep, but everyone, it's what allows everyone to play nicely in the same sandbox. So you can have your own connectivity with an ISP, and you can go anywhere in the internet with any ISP, And it's just a matter of where you connect and peer with the other backbone ISPs. Nobody owns the internet. You know, it's all made up of like several what they call tier 1 or backbone internet providers. And we all just connect at various points and agree to pass traffic between each other. That's how we do.
So, one of the ways that we try to explain it to folks, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is if you think about flights, you know, you've got to go through Atlanta, you've got to go through.
That's a great way to put it.
Houston. You can make a choice between going through Atlanta because you need to go really, really fast. You've got to get to somewhere very specific. But if you've got another route that you want to do and you go through Jacksonville, it's a smaller hub than Atlanta. But everything still has to go through a hub, whether you're going through a direct flight or not. This was one of the easier ways to explain.
That is a great way to kind of tether it to more, to everyone's experience.
But my question for you is, you know, you were talking about this great referral program, you know, the things that you were interested in. Is there a ideal or target customer for you? Because there's a lot of people here that know a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
So do you have a short list that you can share with us, or some like model of this is what we're looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So the short list is like I said, right now we try to stay within about, I should bring that back up, we try to stay within about 1,000 feet of that orange line right now. And so again, this is like we run up College and everything to about 27th or whatnot, and then we go all the way down Pine, and what you don't see is this goes all the way down through Bellevue and through Villages and Leesburg and all that, and we just keep on going. But so anyone that is off this line, so this is like a big, huge corridor for medical with Southeast 17th Street. So anyone that's in has a medical practice probably is using fiber. Anyone that has law firms and such that probably have more than maybe 10 or 15 people are probably on fiber, because those are obviously, it's very impactful if they didn't have internet for a day. They could lose cases, they could lose clients and a lot of money. So anyone where there's a real need to be online 24/7 with rock solid connectivity where it does not go down. So like I said, again, you know, we're all the way up through Dealership Row, so those are really great prospects. So anyone that has connections at any of the Jenkins folks, or anyone with multiple locations is another one. So like I said, I'm working with a couple pest control companies that have locations all around Florida. So they do connectivity between all of them, and you'd be surprised they actually use fiber, because again, even though it doesn't sound like they're doing anything really technical, it matters if they're down. They can't route their technicians. They can't, they can't handle their customers' accounts. So those other things. So if it matters.
I just joined for pest control the other day and had that.
Oh yeah, they're doing all things.
So I could sign and pay him on the spot.
Exactly. Yeah. So you'd be surprised. So like I said, it's one of those things. Like if it matters, like I said, think about what happens if they go down. If it's a complete dumpster fire, like they probably. Or it's worth having a conversation to transition to a fiber connection, because again, DSL and cable modems, they're great and they're fast and they're cheap, but they are a best effort solution. They are not mission critical. There's no guarantees. All you're going to get is maybe an apology if it goes down for the afternoon. There's no sense of urgency if you need to get it, if you need to get it back up right away. Whereas with fiber, we're monitoring those lines 24/7, and if it goes down, we probably know before you did, because we're actively monitoring those, and they just don't go down. So typically, that it's a big deal. So, any other questions for that?
So how far off of the orange line can you go?
We want to be about 1,000 feet, and the reason why is that it becomes a math problem. So every foot, there's an average cost associated with that. So whether we have to go underground and trench or directional bore or whatnot. So as you get further and further off the network, it just becomes more cost prohibitive. So for us to remain competitive, that's our sweet spot. We absolutely can go further off. Like I said, it just depends. Like so for the location I'm doing 20 locations on right now, we're looking at going pretty far off our network. We're right now pitching a very large medical facility in Gainesville that is building a clinic in here, and we're looking to probably extend about a half a mile to 3/4 of a mile for them, because it makes sense for us to do it. So again, for the onesie-twosies, 1,000 feet is kind of our sweet spot, but if you have multiple locations or a larger client that has bigger needs, you'll go further. It just has to make financial sense, for everybody. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jennifer. Awesome. A lot of media information. I was gonna try to interject explaining how the transmission system and electricity travels.
Yeah, we
But-
should totally come to that next week.
Yeah, it has a lot of similarities, but
Right.
let's not bore everybody to death. So, Ms. Christine, I'm gonna turn it over to you. We'll start our 30-second infomercial. So,
Right out the gate.
I was just like, everybody to realize now that lumber prices are coming down. That's all I have to say. If you want to hear more, come to North Magnolia, the Miracle Mile. Linda, I'm glad to see you here. Have a great day.
Morning, my name's Tyler, Mr. Reliable Property Maintenance and Management Services. Good to see you guys. I've not been around. Fortunately for me, I've been super busy, and I hope we all are. So good to see everybody. Something I was going to say, but no worries. Glad to see you guys here. Cheers.
Tyler does good work as well.
Short and sweet, Riley Smith, Ocala Insurance. Have a great day. Riley's my friend. Does a good job for you. So, Russ Ford at the Pack Mill Store, we can pack, ship, freight, crate, anything, anywhere, UPS, FedEx, DHL, international, et cetera, et cetera. Always something exciting going on at the Pack Mill. So you never guess what we picked up yesterday.
A moose head.
Lady in Homosassa, bless her heart, she had a collection of dolls that she's been collecting for almost 100 years. She passed away, her husband couldn't keep up the house, and then he had to go to an assisted living place. So she took all of her dolls, some of her clocks and things to Turkey Creek auction, and all of them were auctioned off. And so we were called to come and pick all of them up and ship them to all the people all over the United States that bought them. And we're talking $100, over $100, porcelain faces, expensive dolls, about 5 or 6 expensive clocks, not big tall grandfather clocks, hang on the wall type clocks. So always something interesting and going, and like we like to say, we ship most anything anywhere that you need to go to. Thanks.
Thanks, Russ. Robert Hickey, Ocala Copper Center, 1107 Silver Spring Boulevard. There is a box stop for community directories. And I don't know if we'll have new ones for August for next week or the week after. And I'm going on a cruise a week from this Saturday.
Oh, tough. Somebody has to do it, right?
Good morning, Brenda Carroll, Brick City Flowers, and you can come to us for all your floral and plant needs. If you've been out to WEC, to the lobby of the hotel, that big display that's in the center of the hotel, Julie does that twice a week. On Tuesday, she refreshes. On Friday, she changes it all out. So if you get an opportunity to go out there, you can get a look at what Julie's work really is, because she's amazing with her design work. Also, I represent Hills Van Service. We're your provider for all types of moves, local, interstate, intrastate. We have portable storage units. You can do your own move. And we also store records. We have a lot of medical and attorney clients that we do their record storage. So for all those needs, just give us a call.
I'm Heather Mason with the Fiery Chef. So if you guys want any food that's easy and delicious, stop by us. They're all microwavable, 2 to 3 minutes, and you can freeze almost everything.
Good morning, Jerry with the Fun Guys. We can handle all of your exterior cleaning needs. Give us a call.
Good morning, everybody. Rhonda Cunningham with Keep Your Profits. Success story, the Gathering Cafe, a lot of you may know that business, was able to swap out their Clover POS. It was a little bit of a challenge, but we did a workaround. We were able to save them $1,800 a month. That's good savings. Calculated at 0%. If you know someone interested in saving some money, let me know. again, the OBL mixer tomorrow night. I'll let you guys know. If you have a something you'd like to raffle off and be noticed there, let me know. We're looking for those. I think Brenda's going to supply some flowers. I've got a massage therapist that's going to be raffling off her services. So if you have something you'd like to raffle, let me know. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. I'm so glad to be back. It was really awesome how many people reached out to just make sure that everything was good. I had an awesome convention with our Chinese barbecue brand last week. Then we had the hurricane, so I couldn't drive through that. And the week before that, my mom had surgery. And so it's really cool to be a part of an organization where people reach out. So I wanted to share something different about me. Anybody know what DISC is? DISC personality profiles? Yep. Right? So I'm actually certified to teach that. So Merrick Rosenberg did a great program called Taking Flight, Being a Chameleon. So it's literally for the birds. If you look it up, you'll understand the joke. But a lot of people don't know that about me. So I am a parrot-eagle combination. And if you're interested in having me come and talk to your group, I'm happy to sit down and give you some idea of how we can do that. We use it across all of our iServe brands. And it really helps understanding what you're talking to somebody, what their personality is, so you can connect with them. So again, I'm Marjorie with TechServe. I do technical, but apparently I can take care of people too. So holler at me if I can give you help. We're not going to talk about what he is.
I'm Colin Barrett. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones, and I'm going on 2 hours of sleep, so I can't.
You're part of the 2 hour club. Hey, good morning. We have from Curry Mental and Chiropractic Center. I think the disc is pretty amazing. You know, it's so accurate.
Really cool.
Yeah, everybody should get it. So it's a good thing. We have the Curry Medical and Chiropractic Center. We're a medical chiropractic clinic that takes care of all types of neck and back problems. Again, specifically the motor vehicle accident patients, friends, family. If you're in an accident, please send them over. We'll be happy to take care of them and make sure that they're well taken care of, documented properly, and referred on if necessary. Thank you very much, everyone.
Morning, Thomas Oldemore, Remax Commercial Real Estate. I am mega double swamped. If anybody needs anything, feel free to call me. I will be happy to call you back if you leave a message, but I may not know you call the job. Thanks.
Gene King, Representative Ocala Police Department, and I just, after the fun guy spoke, I realized we have something in common. If you need us, just call us.
I'm Jessica, Ocala Heating and Air Conditioning. She had to leave early. Now I'm Tanner. Hey, is it Tanner? I got it right. He had to leave early as well. Sorry about that.
I'm Patrick from Pals Ocala Auto Repair. Want to give a big shout out to Shamrock Security, Sandra Walter and Mr. Clark Gandel. You know, it's never what you know, it's who you know. I needed some security things done at my business. I made a call at 8 o'clock in the morning. Tanner was there by 10 o'clock and took care of it. That just doesn't happen, folks. It doesn't happen unless you're part of a group like this and you deal with local people. If you deal with big corporations, you don't get service. If you deal with Clark Gandel, you get service. Thank you.
Attest to that.
Good morning, I'm Carol Lousy and I represent Dan Hightower. We are personal injury attorneys and we are located downtown in the Concord Square. We've been there for over 40 years. I'm not certified to do anything and I'm not a lawyer, but I am the soft voice from Dan Hightower, personal injury lawyers. Thank you.
Bill Barnett with Code Advantage. We're your single source solution for all your HR needs. A couple things. I was able to bring a client on last week where we saved them almost $48,000 a year. They were currently with a competitor PEO. They gave me the opportunity to come in and put a free proposal together for them. Like everything we do is free. Any type of consultation is free. And we were able to save them on their medical and on the PEO side. And he said he's actually going to take that money and, be able to get a couple employee raises and do some different things. So if anything else, give us the opportunity to give you a proposal free. You never know, they could help different things, a couple employees and things like that. A couple other things real quick. We're blocking off the 11th or whichever date it's going to be to have the people come in and speak that are going to be running. It's important that we attend that one. I know that it's hard during the summertime just like this morning, we have a lot of people on vacation. But when we have these type of people that are coming in, I think we should really, try to attend, be here. If you know people that haven't, that are part of OBL, that haven't been to some meetings, maybe reach out to them and explain to them, because it's important what's going on as far as this election is going, and I just think it's a good representation of our club if we are well attended. Thank you.
I'm live in downtown newspaper. We're monthly. We have 2 papers in the villages and 2 in Ocala here. What we're going to do is, starting next month, not August, September, because it's too late for August. We're going to do a now hiring headline, and you can run ads free for people that you want to hire, like a 4-line classified, so we can help the community put people back to work.
Good morning, Dr. Charles Simpson, Downtown Chiropractic. We're kind of like fiber optics for the human body. We make sure that the brain's connected to the fingers and the toes and the gut. So if you got a pinched nerve, I can take care of that.
I get to follow that. Joe Marcone, WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Sit down.
No,
go farther away. All right.
That's
I'm
good.
all the way down
That's
here
good.
now.
That's good. No, that's good.
Hi. Okay. Well, I get to stand right next to Linda here. Everyone knows me. With WOCA Radio, when we push you out in front of people so they know what you do, why you do, and who the hell you are. Because that's the point. I sell you first, then I sell your products. Because our listeners want to know who you are, because we're in Ocala. A quick shout out to Linda here. I'm not supposed to, but I'm going to, because I usually don't talk very long. Everyone knows I'm 100% Italian, and I love Italian food. And Magnolia Bakery, that's a great bakery, and she does wedding cakes, and she does all that, but she does great Italian food, big time. And I was in there a few years back. I go sparingly, I'm sorry, to her, but I do go. And I remember going there once, she had a meat pie, and I had a piece, and I cried. Me, crying at the table, because it brought back memories from New Haven, Connecticut. Thank you.
Good morning, Mike Essex, paramedic at Magnolia Family Urgent Care, safe alternative to the emergency room. Just want to remind everybody, we have a CEP after hours tomorrow from 5 to 7 at our clinic. Stop on by and meet the staff.
Good morning, I'm Kent with OcalaForSale.com and Brick City Digital. We can help you with all of your online marketing needs. One thing I did want to mention is we are at a point now, and this is a positive thing, that we are likely going to have to add pages to the directory because of all the new members we've added. So, with that being said, I know, give everyone a round of applause. That's a fantastic thing. A fantastic problem to have, but what that's going to offer and open up as an opportunity for the rest of us is if you don't already have an ad in the directory, there will be more ad space available. So I'd love to talk to you guys about adding an ad for your business in the OBL directory that we've print so many of. So thanks.
Hey guys, Sam Guss with Dex Imaging. We sell copiers and printers. We do a really good job supporting them, but really I'm in the information business. When my customers come to me and they may need to move something, well, I got a person that can move it. Or they may need building supplies, or they may have fungus on their carport. Well, I got a fun guy back there that could take care of them. Or they need their car fixed. I got a guy. Well, they may have a pinched nerve, and I can I have that fixed for you too. So what's great about this club is that I have a personal connection to each and every one of you guys, and I refer you guys every day to my customers, and that's so valuable. And somewhere along the line, I tend to sell a coffee machine because of it. And I just want to thank OBL and everything that you guys do to support my business.
Good morning, everyone. Tammy Griffin with Tammy Portrait Artists. In the back, I have brochures for my new high school senior portrait campaign. It's called See the Difference, and it's talking about hiring a professional. So I would really appreciate if you could put some of these in your brick and mortar stores and hand them out to family and friends that you know have high school seniors for that will be graduating in 2022. Can we believe we're working that far ahead? So we take their photos in the summer, and but I do it all year long because my clients like better weather. They like to do all of this outside, so we do it all year long. So please pick these up, and you all have a great week.
Christine Millhat, we're starting to get inventory back in, which is a good thing because we sell a lot of black pants. Everyone who works in corrections, the sheriff's office, OPD, all of those guys wear a lot of black. You know, we haven't been able to get it. And if you walk in, my shelves have been empty, and they still are until the shipments come in, but they're starting to fill back up in warehouses. So that's a good thing. So the price of wood is coming down. Manufacturing is picking up on clothing. They're starting to fill the shelves back up, and boots are starting to come back in as well. So, but I need another part-time guy. The first part-time guy I hired, he got picked up by Bradford County Sheriff's Department. I referred him out. He's certified. So one of their guys came to the store. I'm like, Dwayne, are they hiring? He goes, yes. So within 2 weeks, he was working. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So it's a better job than what I can offer.
Working. I thought you got picked up.
I guess that's good one. It's like finding an employee right now. So
I know.
it's nuts to go find it.
I'm going to, yes.
Tony Clayton, Ocala, everybody knows what I do. We're on 24/7, 365. We like to say at Ocala Utility, it's on. There, I plugged you, okay? So,
50-50.
man, just the reiteration, yes, we'll get to 50-50, but this club is absolutely awesome. You guys are amazing. I love the family atmosphere. I love the connectivity, and the willingness to go out of each other's way to serve one another. Man, what a great example of what our community represents and why we're here. So I'm appreciative to just get to be a part of this and get to know each and every one of you. And I love the opportunity to make referrals. I was telling Patrick, a new gentleman I just met the other day through my ministry, was in need of a mechanic, and it was almost just non-automatic. I mean, I just need to go to Pal's Auto Care. It just came out, and as I was texting him back, so my wife convinced me the other day that she needed another vehicle, so we traded in her vehicle, and I'm like, oh, I need some insurance. So, I have insurance with Ocala Insurance, and I called them up, said, hey, we just got another vehicle. Please tell me how much my insurance is going up. And it was amazing. Like, I went from a 2017 to a 2020, and my bill changed, I think, at $20 a year, something like that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So it's just amazing the having the connections and the benefits of being a part of this organization. And again, I'm just very thankful and proud to do that. So with that, Mr. Jerry, what do we have for 2020 this morning?
We have $31 for the winner. Think that's your winner, everyone. Last three.
Last three. RU12.
How about 612?
612, is that it?
Not me, Patrick.
How about that? Good. See, I was so focused on vehicles and accolades there that I made a mistake. That was the 50-50 drawing, folks, not the 2020 drawing. I guess we're only going to share 20% this morning or something.
Awesome. With that, before we close out, any non-OBL announcements that we have? Yes, sir. Mr. Moore, in the back of the store.
Mr. Moore, my dad.
Our church, through our church, is I have petitions here, and basically it's the amendment information is the Human Life Protection Amendment, and we're trying to get on the ballot, get the amendment changed or whatever it is to say all human beings have the right to life regardless of age, illness, or disability when there is a detectable heartbeat. So we're trying to get this so that this is how it reads in the state amendments or statutes or whatever you want to call it, so that it's a detectable heartbeat. I'm not exactly sure what the criteria is right now for getting an abortion, but this would change it drastically. So I have some petitions here, name, address, date of birth, and signature is all that's required.
So this is not OBL because I just have to give a shout out to my dad. So last Friday night, my dad, who's going to be 80 on October 1st, got his doctorate of divinity. And I got to go to his graduation and I got to watch them put that, whatever you call that, on his, it was just the coolest thing ever to see my dad. Because a background on my dad, he's a high school dropout. He dropped out at 15. Lied about his age. He ran away. Lied about his age, joined the Air Force when he was 16. Flew spy planes in Vietnam. Flew on and worked on spy planes in Vietnam. And he's always been, since he came back, he's always been his own business, an entrepreneur. It just runs in our family. And then he's been a minister for many years as well. So to see him work on his degrees all the way through and get the doctorate on last Friday, it made my heart. So I always say there's hope for all of us. You're never too old to chase your dreams and get them. Thank you.
There's a saying, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. Yeah, so that's a great thing. Manalda is running, my wife is running for mayor of Ocala, so we're very excited about her doing that. She's very dedicated to the city. Any of you who know her and know what she's done and how much she's put in with United Way, American Heart, the list goes on and on. So if you'd like to get to know her, please let me know. I'll put you in touch with her. I brought 4 signs. If you'd like to take those, you're more than welcome to do that. And that's okay. I don't know with OBL, but it's, if you have any questions, come see me afterwards. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Just make sure you email me anyone you want to hire, if you're looking for somebody to hire in the next 2 weeks, and we'll get it in the next issue.
Gene, you got something?
I just want to say one more thing about Pac Mill. If you haven't flown, as I have recently, I forgot one important thing. Last time that I flew, I took all my clothes, everything that I wanted to arrive in the other end, delivered it to him and his son. They put them in a box. They shipped them. My son had my suit pressed for me, hanging on a hanger. I did not have to go through any of the check lines. And if you haven't flown in recent times, Orlando is absolutely a circus. And I was in charge of none of the monkeys. It just took forever to get the luggage back. And until this morning, I forgot, I should have just mailed it. Okay, so sometimes when things are free, like if you get one bag free, pay the man. Okay, you'll free you up in your time and everything will be there safely. I just want to say that.
Yeah, what a unique idea. You have something? Awesome. Anyone else? Non-OBL announcements? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gene. We do have people that are going on vacation, going on trips, and they're taking things that have to be there when they get there. Okay, so you're going fly fishing to Snake River in Idaho. They've got to have their fly rod and reel and their waders and all that stuff there. So we do ship to the hotel, and it's waiting on them when they get there. But if you go through the airlines and they lose that luggage, your vacation just got ruined.
Yeah, it's never looks like.
It's gonna end up in Scottsboro, Alabama.
You go scuba diving and it's a fly fishing. Spearfishing. Awesome. Any more non-OBL announcements? Yes, so remember to reiterate what Bill said too about the candidates forums and things as we try to progress with those. Please make sure that you can be here. These things are vitally important to our community and the success thereof. So our input is very valuable to each of these candidates, and we need to understand their platform and their perspective and where they're coming from so we can make informed decisions.
Tentatively, that's for August 11th?
Yeah, we need to get that clarified.
I will let you guys know today. I'm just calling well after 9 because they'll get it done.
And I want to add on to that too, Tony, that also the people that are running the city council, it's important to study on those people too and where they stand on stuff, because this is my personal opinion. Chief Alexander was let go for wrong reasons, and people that were on the council, for them not to say, just passing it off. Read up on people that are running to make sure that we elect them to represent us. So I was there last night. It's still a total fiasco. What's going on with that? It's going to end up costing the city a lot of money, more than what we're paying the city manager, and that type of thing. So it's important to read up on the candidates and to know that they're in it for what we're wanting to do.
Thank you for that. Anyone else? Awesome. Well, let's please remember our cook and server, Jerry and Miss Chaz, that take such good care of us each and every week here. We have Tom's newspapers and the directories on the back. Please take those. That's our great networking tools that we need to use to get out. Remember tomorrow night, 5 to 7, at the Workspace Collective, 217 Southeast 1st Avenue. We'll be on the event. Let's be there and be in force and support what's going. With that, I would love for us just to close in prayer this morning. Father, thank you again for today. Thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy. God, we just ask your blessing upon each and every business here today, Father, that you would guide all of our decisions and all of our steps, Father, and let everything that we do bring honor and glory to you and your kingdom. We praise you and thank you in Jesus' holy name. Amen. You guys have a very blessed week. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow.